Hello and welcome back. Today is a pretty exciting day. Take a look at this beautiful hat that I just received. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but I was planning to set this tank up today. This is the next tank that I wanted to set up. A nice 𝗲𝗂𝘀𝗶𝗿𝗀𝗀 style aquascape right next to the nature style aquascape, which as you can see it's doing quite nicely. But today instead I've decided to set up the tank that will be going over there. A 3-foot tank right here. Excuse this plastic bag, but this here is a 3-foot tank and we're going to be setting this one up today. Before I do that though, I just want to say a big thank you to Aquarium Co-op. Take a look at this hat they sent me. I still haven't taken this tag off yet, but it's really cool looking hat, and they sent me more. Right in this box over here. Aquarium Co-op sent me a bunch of the sponge filters, 18 of them to be exact, and this is one of my favorite sponge filters. I've used different sponge filters in the past, and I gotta say this is the best one there is. Well, to me, it might be different for other people out there, but to me, I really love these sponge filters. There's one in this tank. Well, there's one in almost every single tank here. But as you all know, we've been adding more tanks to this fish room, just one tank at a time, and today we're adding another tank over there, and we just need more sponge filters. So I want to thank Aquarium Co-op and his team. Thank you so much, Corey, for all these sponge filters. It really means a lot that you're doing this for me. You've been supporting the channel for a long time now. I want to thank you Jimmy, thank you Zenzo, all the staff of Aquarium Co-op. Thank you so much. I really want to visit Aquarium Co-op one day. That is kind of a dream, so hopefully that comes true. But let's go and start setting up that tank over there. Oh, I forgot to mention, they sent me some stickers too, and I think this fly river turtle is my current favorite. Super cute. Okay, so now on to the theme of today's tank. So it's a 3-foot tank. This here is the 4-foot tank, so you can kind of see size difference right there. But this here is a 3-foot tank. I just said that like already, but over there, those are all 3-foot tanks, and that's a 3-foot tank rack. So we're adding today's tank over there. But before that, we've got to put a background on this tank. We're going all black background, black on the sides as well, just to reduce the reflection. And the plants, you can see there's driftwood in this tank right now, but we're not going to use this. This is for another scape that I was just working on. So this driftwood will be used in the future, but not for today's tank. Today we are just only going to have plants, and a special type of plant. That plant is in here. Right here. It's not doing too well. I've just neglected it. I've just let it sit and float in this tank for the last few months, and it's still alive. You can see some new baby leaves on here, but it just hasn't been doing well. So today we need to get this in a proper environment, and we're going to let this thing grow humongous. So I've just cut out the background sticker paper. Black is what we're going with. So let's make this quick. I don't want to take so much time on this, so let's do it just like this. And take a look at that. We've got the background done, completely done. You can see it, my Crocs in the reflection, but we've got the sides covered, the back covered. Now we just got to move this in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and try my best to carry it and put it right in this spot. I've got to clean some cables up too. I can't wait to get this tank set up, and I can't wait to unbox this light, because the lighting unit we've got for today's tank is a pretty unique special one. It's a new model, so yeah, can't wait to show you guys that. Alright, and we've got the tank in place. It is looking a little bit dark, so I think it's time to light it up. Today we've got the special light from 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, the WRGB2 Pro 90 for a 90cm tank, 3-foot tank. Let's go and open this box up and light this place up. So I want to thank 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 for trusting me again with the support, sending me another light. And there it is, unboxed. It was really simple to unbox this. Now we just got to put it together. You can see the light here is pretty sleek, really nice looking, pretty heavy too, which just shows the quality. It's not going to bend or break or anything like that. So mine here came with 2 types of stand. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case for all purchases. Maybe you got to get this thing separately, but this right here is the hang kit, which I'll probably be using today. And this here is the regular legs that it should come with. And this leg is the thing you stick in here, and yeah, you just have regular legs like a regular aquarium light would. But today we're using the hanging kit. It's gonna look like this. We hang this up so that it keeps the look clean. And also, because my tank is not rimless, the regular legs will not fit on this type of tank. It's a rimmed tank, and this thing just won't sit on here. So it's kind of made for rimless tanks. It's perfect. That looks insane. That looks amazing. Yeah, now we've got to do something about the light next to it, because that one is kind of dim, but it's purposely set to be darker because I've only got angelfish in here and not many plants that I'm trying to grow. So this tank is purposely a little bit darker, but we're gonna have plants for this tank too. I don't know why I'm even talking about this right now, but let's focus on this tank. So this tank, we just got the lights on. It looks amazing. So up here you can see kind of how I've hung it up. I put a screw in there and I put some glue just to strengthen the hold of it, and it is strong enough, but I just like to be extra safe. But yeah, so that is it on both sides. On this side as well, you can see up there, but it is looking amazing, and I've made sure to completely level it so it's straight. And now we can start setting this tank up. Underneath the tank you can see it's where I'm temporarily just keeping some of my substrate, and today we're going to use some of this right here. This is base layer fertilizing substrate. It just gives nutrients to the plants and helps promote beneficial bacteria growth in the substrate system. I've also got it in this tank a little bit. You can't see it. Excuse the sticker. I don't know what on earth. But yeah, I've actually got some of that base layer fertilizing substrate in this tank. But you just can't see it. If you watch the setup video of this tank, you'll see I put about 3 bags into this tank. Since this is a slightly smaller tank, 2 bags will be enough. If you've heard of ADA Power Sand, it's basically the same thing, just a little bit cheaper. So the base fertilizing substrate is in right now, and this is going to help give the plants as much nutrients as possible from the roots, because we're adding heavy root feeding plants, Madagascar lace plants, 2 of them. The two lace plants are going to go in this tank, and they're going to love it. I might even add some root tabs just to help them out a little bit more. But next up, we need to put the gravel on top of this to cap it off. And I was actually first thinking of going with a brown colored gravel, but I decided not to. I like the brown gravel look, but this time I think I'm just going to stick with what's working for me already, and that is this gravel right here. It's a nice mixed colored gravel, mostly black colors, but I really like the look of this, and let me know what you guys think of this colored gravel. Do you guys like this or do you not like this? What colored gravel do you like the best? Another reason why I wanted to use this is because it's cheaper. I can get bigger bags of that for a cheaper price than that brown colored gravel. So now what I'm going to do is I've got a couple bags of this. I'm going to go and wash it up, and then we'll add it into the tank. Alright, so I filled the tank up about 80%, something like that. Now, I think we can start planting this tank. And for plants, well, I mentioned the Madagascar lace plant. The first one that I'm going to add in is in this tank right here. So this one floating right here, not looking too good, but we're going to get it in that tank, and I think it's going to do a lot better. If this crinum will get off, but yeah, the crinum in this tank has been doing amazing. The centerpiece plant right here, you can see all these long leaves, super cool looking leaves. And I have another one of this. This one is probably my best plant. It's in the best condition. And then I've got one in this tank, no CO2. it's been growing very slowly, and you can see some blue-green algae in the soil there, but yeah, I gotta get that replanted too. But today, we're getting this guy in this tank. This is going to look amazing. And I've also got a second Madagascar lace plant. It's a slightly different type. There are 3 main types of Madagascar lace plants, and I've got 2 of them right here. I think this one is called 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀, and then the one I just showed you guys, that one is called 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀. This one on the left is my favorite one. It's not looking good right now, but once it starts growing, it's gonna look amazing. This one, just note, it's my favorite one, and if we can get this to grow nicely, it's gonna look amazing. And this one here, it's in much better condition. I love the colors of these leaves better than this one, but this one has smaller holes. I can't wait for both of these to grow, so let's go and plant them into this tank. So the 2 lace plants are in this tank. Those are the centerpiece plants for this 3-foot tank. Now it's time to fill in the gaps with a few different plants. And of course, we're going with some of my favorites, some 𝗂𝘂𝗀𝗀𝘀𝗀. Cryptocoryns. I've got a bunch of 𝗂𝘂𝗀𝗀𝗀 stored in this tank that I'll be taking out and adding into that tank. I've got some Cryptocoryne Castleman in the back, Cryptocoryne molmeni, Cryptocoryne pontidaerifolia, Aphanis, a bunch of 𝗂𝘂𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. I'm gonna pull some of those out, put them in that tank, and I've also got a few plants in this tank down here. This is just a stock tank, and yeah, I've even got some Cypress 𝗲𝘃𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, so I'm not sure. I'm just gonna dig in and see what I want to put in this tank, and we'll plant it. And there it is, the Madagascar lace plant tank is done. It's not looking amazing right now. I know it doesn't look too good, but it's gonna look better in the next few months. Once all the plants start growing in, and once I get these empty spots planted up. I don't have the plants right now to put in there, but we're gonna add more plants to this tank, and it's gonna look amazing. So the 2 centerpiece plants in this tank, we've got this Madagascar lace plant, as well as this one right here, which I did trim off some of the leaves as they weren't looking too good, so hopefully that thing grows back and starts looking amazing in no time. But I just can't wait for this tank to grow in, because it's gonna look really colorful, and it's gonna be nice. And I can't wait to add fish into this tank, some colorful fish to help match this tank. What fish would you add into this tank? Let me know in the comments down below. And yes, I am adding CO2 into this tank. I know I'm gonna get some comments saying it's a waste, it's not gonna work. Since I'm using a sponge filter, the CO2, it's useless, and I understand, but it does work. I promise you, even a little bit of CO2, if you're using sponge filter, if you're getting all this bubbles at the top, surface agitation, having CO2, a little bit, it's still gonna help the plants out. So in the comments down below, you can disagree all you want, but having CO2, even with a sponge filter, with all this surface agitation, it's still gonna help a little bit. Yeah, it might not help out much. Some of the CO2 may gas off, it probably will, but there still will be a little bit in the tank, and it will definitely help the plants out. So yeah, I just wanted to add some in there because these 𝗂𝘂𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 are sensitive. They're most likely going to melt. I bet you they're going to melt, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And hopefully this tank does well. I wanted to show you the 𝗂𝘃𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 lights, how you set this up. So right now it's turned off. You've got the auto mode as well as the manual mode. I like to use auto. That way you can set the time. It'll be on automatic timer. You don't need a timer for this light. You just use it with your phone. So to set it up, we go to quick set. Set your sunrise. So what time you want it to turn on? I want it to turn on at 11 a.m. Where is it? There we go. Next, time of daylight, I like 8 hours. 8 hours is kind of my standard time that I keep my tanks on. Then we go next. Ramp up time. So the ramp up time is the sunset and sunrise feature. So you can have it slow start. I usually do 30 minutes, so there. So it ramps up 30 minutes and ramps down 30 minutes. And then you can set the intensity. So I think today we'll just go like 50%, and I'll fine tune this thing later. But right now I just want to make it quick. So yeah, around 50%. You can see that's how bright it is. I would go 100%, but then we'll get a bunch of algae because this light is pretty strong. It's the Pro version. And the WRGB has a few different versions. There's the Pro, there's the Slim, and the regular one. And we'll talk more about those lights in the future, but for today we've got this. There's also some other features where if you have red plants, you can focus more on the reds. It brings out the red more, as you can see right here. And then you've got green, so if you've got green plants, this will accentuate the greens. And then you've got RGB, red, green, blue. This will balance it out really nice. We've got the boost feature, kind of like a purplish tone, which is pretty cool. And then we've got fish. Yeah, I think this one brings out the blues more. So like neon tetras, cardinal tetras, they will look really good in this. And then we've got all, which is, yeah, just everything. So I'm gonna adjust this to how I like it. It's just a balance. You gotta play around, see what you like, see what your plants like, and it's a pretty fun thing to play around with. I want to thank Aquarium Co-op once again for the sponge filters. My favorite sponge filters ever. If you don't know Aquarium Co-op, I don't know where you guys are, but you guys gotta know Aquarium Co-op, and I'll link them down below just in case you don't, but you should. And also, thank you so much to 𝗲𝘋𝗃𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀 for sending me these lights. They've been sending me out all kinds of lights, and they're amazing. Haven't had a problem with a single one yet, so really great company. But as always, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Can't wait for this tank to grow in. It's gonna look nice once all the plants start growing in, and I'll see you guys next time.